Going on guys, it's Anime1 here and today I'm back with another video of what if Naruto was taken by Jiraiya. In this story, Naruto is gonna be a genius and he's gonna find out that Minato is his father and Kushina is his mother. And Jiraiya is gonna take him for a training trip for 3 years before the actual training trip that happened in the time skip. So I hope you guys will enjoy it, so let's begin the video. Naruto was not a normal orphan. He was what every orphan was, without family. He was alone, he was hated, he was beaten up by the villagers. He had no idea why the villagers hated him so much. He had very few precious people to him. Hiruzen, Ayame, Suchi, and Shisui Uchiha. He was sad actually, a boy of only being 5 years old, hated by everyone. Naruto had learned only early on in his life. He was hated in the orphanage he lived in as well. Ever since he learned how to walk on his own, the matron of the orphanage started treating him like trash. He was not allowed to play with the kids of his age, and even when he managed to talk to them, they would sneer at him and tell him, in no certain words, that a monster like him was not welcome to play with them. He would get sad and leave. "The demon is here," a man in the mob of people said. Naruto was very smart for his age. He knew how to escape the mob, but today they had ninjas with them. They cornered him, starting to beat him. "Stop!" Naruto said. "You just stop and kill my wife," one of the people in the mob said. This was only one of the things that people would say to him. "Why the hell are you doing this to me? I didn't do anything," Naruto shouted. Again was about to stab Naruto in the heart, because he wanted to get rid of the demon once and for all. But he was stopped by a small sound. "Fire style! Fireball jutsu!" a young voice called out. The villagers and Chunin and Genin alike were all quickly disposed of by the jutsu. Naruto closed his eyes as he felt himself being picked up. "Oh god, Naruto, I'm sorry I couldn't get here fast enough. I was just appointed to the Anbu and stuff and I didn't." He stopped. As he watched Naruto open his eyes started to tear up. His eyes looked dead, like they had no will to live anymore. There was so much that a 5-year-old could handle. Naruto looked up at him and his eyes lit up a little. "Shisui Nisan," he said. Shisui looked at the boy who he saw as his little brother. "Don't worry, Naruto, everything's gonna be alright." He grabbed Naruto and rushed towards the hospital. "He needs medical attention immediately," he said to one of the nurses. "Get the demon out of here." The man glared at her and released killing intent. "You will treat him now," Shisui said. The nurse nodded and grabbed Naruto and took to treat him. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, was sitting in his office doing paperwork, but one thing was on his mind. Today was October 10th, the day that fourth Hokage defeated the Nine Tails. This day, the villagers would go hunting down the demon. What the hell will I tell Jiraya? He is coming back today to check up on Naruto, he thought. He was brought out of his thoughts when someone entered the office. "Lord Hokage," the unwinged wolf Max said. "Naruto is attacked today, pretty brutally too, but that's not what's important," Shisui said. The third Hokage raised an eyebrow. "What happened to the attackers?" the third asked. He saw as Naruto as his grandson, and he wanted to make sure he got justice. "I burned them alive with the fire jutsu," the third nodded. "What now? What is more important than him almost dying, Wolf?" Wolf, also known as Shisui Uchiha, took a deep breath. "I saw Jiraiya-sama going towards the orphanage. I suspect he's going there to meet Naruto." Sarutobi tensed up when he heard his student's name. He had promised Jiraiya that he would take care of Naruto, since he was the one who didn't allow Jiraiya to take Naruto with him. "I deserve whatever he says to me. I failed him and Minato and Kushina," the old Hokage said. "Wolf, I want you to stay with Naruto until he fully recovers. And don't worry about Suki. I will tell Itachi what happened. I'm sure he'll understand. Right now, I don't trust anyone in the hospital with Naruto's safety." Shisui nodded and vanished as he was inside. He knew orphanage had kicked Naruto out yesterday when he went outside the village for a meeting with the Fire Lord. And if Jiraiya found out, there would be hell to pay. Jiraiya was excited. Today was the day when he is finally gonna meet his godson. He wanted to take Naruto with him when Minato and Kushina died. But Naruto was too young, and that meant he needed to keep his eyes on him 24/7. With the spy network, that was impossible, and yet he tried to take the boy with him, but the council flat out denied his request. Jiraiya reached the orphanage that Naruto was supposed to be as he saw a lady in her 30s standing at the entrance of the door. He walked up to her. "Excuse me, can I see Naruto Uzumaki?" he asked. The woman looked up at him strangely. "Sir, we don't have anyone named Naruto Uzumaki in this orphanage anymore," she said with a small smirk. Jiraiya noted that the woman said the word anymore with more humor in her voice. "What do you mean by anymore?" he asked in a dangerous tone. But the woman didn't catch the tone as she. This was one of the people who hated Naruto. Some merchants paid us to kick him out of the orphanage so that they could finish what the force started. Finally, the demon is getting what he deserves, she said as the smirk grew wider. Jiraiya's eyes widened, rage up inside of him. He understood by what the lady meant when she said, "Finish what the force started." He looked at the lady dead in the eyes. "Once I come back here, I'll make each and every one of you worthless scum pay for what you did to him," he said as he rushed towards the Hokage tower. One fact Jiraiya knew was Hiruzen or even Danzo wouldn't let Naruto get killed because they couldn't risk the Nine Tails getting free, and Naruto being an half Uzumaki had the highest chance of controlling that power. "Sensei!" Jiraiya said as he entered the office. "Jiraiya, it's good to see you," Hiruzen said with a smile. "Cut the crap, Sensei. This village is rotten to its core. How dare they spit on Minato's last wish?" Jiraiya said angrily. Hiruzen looked at Jiraiya and sighed. "Jiraiya, look, I did my best for the villagers to change their opinion on Naruto. You and I both know they are angry for the ones they have lost during the Kyuubi attack. Someone leaked the information about Naruto being the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. I'm not sure who did it yet though. I'm done with the scrap, Sensei. I'm taking Naruto with me, and if the council denies my request, I will desert Konoha," Jiraiya said, making Hiruzen's eyes widen. "Jiraiya, you can't be serious," the old Hokage said. "I'm dead serious, Sensei. I will not leave Minato's legacy in a rotten place like this." Hiruzen was deep in thought. "Very well. In one condition, though," Hiruzen said. Jiraiya looked at him confused, and told him to continue. "You will bring back Naruto in 3 years so that he can join the academy." Jiraiya looked at Hiruzen and sighed. "I accept." At the hospital, Naruto opened his eyes to see the white ceiling that was way too familiar to him. He was in the hospital. He looked around to see a tall man with white hair tied in a ponytail talking to Shisui, and today he wanted answers. He had been doing some studies by sneaking in the library, and all the evidence that he had collected just couldn't be coincidence. Naruto slowly got up as Shisui and the tall man turned around. Naruto narrowed his eyes at the tall man. By the out and the looks from what he had studied about the three legendary Sannin, you could tell this man was the third Sannin, the man that had trained the fourth Hokage, and that made him even more suspicious. Jiraiya saw the look the boy was giving him. "Don't worry, I'm not here to hurt you," Jiraiya said. As he walked towards the boy, he was still giving him that strange look. "You're Jiraiya of the Sannin, the man who trained the fourth Hokage," Naruto said. Jiraiya was a little surprised, but then he smirked. "A smart one, aren't you?" Jiraiya said, but Naruto gave him a blank look. "Where's Gigi? I want to talk to him." Jiraiya raised an eyebrow. "He is busy, but you can ask me. Maybe I know the answer to your question," Jiraiya said. Naruto looked at the man, then looked at Shisui, who nodded, telling him that he could trust the man. "Very well," Naruto said, making Jiraiya smile. "Do I have the Nine-Tails seal inside of me?" Naruto asked, making Jiraiya's eyes almost fall out of their socket and Shisui choked on the water that he was drinking. Jiraiya looked at Naruto with complete shocked expression. How do you know?" Jiraiya asked. Well, when you get glared by every single person in the village and they call you a demon, especially when I was born on October of 10th, and since the nine tail was purely made out of chakra, it can be killed. So the only option was to seal him inside a child. And also these, Naruto said, pointing at the whisker marks. These all can't just be coincidence, can they? He said, making both Jiraya and Shisui look at the boy. He was definitely a damn genius. By the expression on your face, I guess I'm right. Now, on to the second question. Naruto said, not even bothered slightly by knowing that he was a Jinchuriki. Hey brat, wait, are you not even bothered in the slightest that you know? Jiraiya said as Naruto shook his head. I'm smart enough to know the difference between scroll and a kunai, and that I believe in the fourth Hokage seal, Naruto said. Jiraiya looked at the boy in awe. Now on to the second question. Is Minato Namikaze my father? This made Shisui and Jiraiya freeze. What are you talking about? How did you come up with that theory? After I figured out that I was the container for the QB, the rest fell into place. Everyone said the fourth Hokage was an honorable man, so there is no way that he would ask an villager to sacrifice one of their child. So I figured out that he would sacrifice his own son instead. Well, it's not that hard. I'm literally the carbon copy of him with whisker marks, Naruto said. Jiraiya sighed. Well, there was no meaning in hiding it anymore. The brat was too smart for his own good. You know all this. What else will you do now? Well, that's where you come into fill in the blanks. You see, I know that the fourth Hokage's name was Minato Namikaze. The history files never said that anything about him having a kid or even a wife. So I want to know, who was my mother? Jiraiya looked at him and smiled. Well, I guess I can give this to you now then, he said. As he handed Naruto two scrolls. Naruto opened the first scroll that had been written by his mom and started to read it. Dear Naruto, oh my sweet child, how I wish I was there to see you grow into a fine young man like your father. I'm writing this letter in case something happened to us and you are left alone. If you're reading this letter, that means we are dead. We are sorry for leaving you alone, my baby boy. First thing first, I love you with all my heart, Naruto. A mother would never stop loving their child, even in death. Know this, I'm still watching you and I'll always be by your side, no matter what happens. Second, if you decide to become a shinobi, remember the vices of the shinobi life. First is alcohol. Be responsible about it and don't become a drunk. Second is money. Use it responsibly and try not to waste it. If you do waste it, you better waste it on your wife. The third are women. And as your mother, I'm absolutely forbid you become a pervert and a womanizer. Respect women and also find a woman you love and want to spend the rest of your life with. Don't settle for anything less. At the bottom of this letter, you will see a kanji that contains my sword if we ever decide to take up on kenjutsu. Once again, to me and your father, you are the most precious thing to us, Naruto. I love you no matter what. And remember that. With love, Kushina Uzumaki. P.S. Learn Furin Jutsu. The Uzumakis were known for it, and your father mastered it as well. I've left 10 volumes of Furin Jutsu that I got from the Uzumaki archives. Everything you need to become a master will be there. Best of luck, baby! Naruto was numb after reading the letter from his mother. He could not find the words to express how fulfilling and satisfying, and it was amazing to hear those words from his mother, even if it was just in a letter. He was crying. Jiraiya did best to comfort the boy. Naruto stopped crying and put down the scroll gently as if it was made of glass and picked up his father's scroll. Dear Naruto, if you are reading this letter, then it means that I'm no longer among the world of living. I desperately hope that your mother is with you, but if that's not the case, allow me to explain few things to you. My name is Minato Namikaze. As you probably have guessed, I am the fourth Hokage. If you already know this, then you are probably in the academy. If not, it's good to read. Keep it up, and please don't be mad at Jiraiya sensei if he didn't take care of you, and don't get mad at Lord Third as well. I left him specific instructions that you were to be told about my identity only if you were tuning or married. I made many enemies during the Third Shinobi War, especially from Eva. If people were to know about it, you would be a prime target for all my enemies. I just wanted to know if you're not born yet. I love you with all my heart. It was the happiest day of my life when your mother announced that she was pregnant with you. Since I was an orphan, I really don't have anything special to give to you. But what I have, I hope you master it. The scroll to all my jutsu are with Jiraiya sensei. I told him to teach you the Rasengan and the Fuin Jutsu, so that you can create your own version of the Hiraishin no Jutsu. And also, I've left you my version of the Jutsu at the bottom of the scroll, so that it can help you to create your own version. Have a good life, and always remember, Naruto, I'll be watching you. I'll always be by your side, and that I believe in you completely. You were born as my son, Naruto, and I thank you for it. Dad. Naruto started to cry. Again. Only from reading these letters he could tell that his parents loved him. Then he started to cry, and smiled, and looked at Jiraiya. Mr. Jiraiya, can you please train me? I want to make my parents proud by becoming even more powerful than them, Naruto said with determination. Jiraiya smirked. He's very mature for his age. And he's also intelligent like Minato, Jiraiya thought. This is what I wanted to talk to you about, kid. I will be taking you away from this village for 3 years and train you so that you can take care of yourself, Jiraiya said. Naruto jumped out of his bed and hugged Jiraiya. Thank you, Jiraiya sensei, thank you, Naruto said, crying. Jiraiya just looked at the boy and smiled. No problem, kid. It's my responsibility as a godfather to take care of you. Naruto looked up. Godfather? That means I have family left, Naruto said excitedly. Jiraiya just smiled and nodded. Now get whatever you need. We are leaving tomorrow. Naruto's mood dropped. I don't have anything to take with me at all. All the orphanage gave me was the damn orange jumpsuit, Naruto said. Jiraiya felt his blood boiling. Then he calmed himself down since he knew that Naruto would be having a better life with him. Very well, we'll be leaving today. Come with me. We'll get you some clothes, Jiraiya said. After 3 hours, Naruto had picked up some clothes. The shop owner tried to overcharge him or kick him out of the store, but when he saw Jiraiya, the shop owner just let Naruto get the clothes. But both Naruto and Jiraiya, along with Hiruzen and Shisui, were standing at the gates of Konoha. Naruto didn't wear his new clothes because he didn't want to get them dirty. Shisui looked at Naruto and smiled. Naruto, I hope when you come back, I will be here, but if by any chance I am not, promise me you will take care of my sister, Shisui said, ruffling Naruto's hair. Hiruzen looked at Shisui with regret in his eyes. He knew what Shisui was talking about. Don't worry, Shisui Nisan. I will take care of your sister, Naruto said, with a grin. Shisui just smiled. Let's go, Naruto, Jiraiya said. Naruto nodded as they left the village. I hope you guys enjoyed the first chapter of this fanfic. If you guys want more, please get this video to around 100 views. It will be really appreciated. And also, please like and subscribe. It really helps a lot. So, let's see you guys in the next video. Bye.